Hello, everybody, and welcome to my media museum. My name is Will, and today we're going to be looking at an old box of 50s and some 60s 45s that I got off a guy out at the flea market many years ago, probably around 2008, I would guess, pretty close to then. And they're not in the best of shape, but as you can see, he put this box together for me, charged me $5 for the whole box. And I got the old 50s box, with it. So that was really cool. But getting right down to it, starting off with the first one here, we've got Creedence Clearwater Revival, Down on the Corner. Now, of course, that's 60s, no doubt about it. But I've been buying 45s off this guy for weeks. And he's like, I noticed you keep skipping over some really great 45s. And, he was an older gentleman around my age or even a little bit older than me. And so he put this box together for me, just personally. And I didn't want to turn him down. It's only $5. What the heck, So I bought it, brought it home, and the wife and I were looking through it. And we can see here, we've got Fortunate Son here on the B side. I think Fortunate Son was actually the A side, but we've got a lot of stacker wear there, where the disc has been stacked up and they fall down and they're spinning and they kind of scuff the label up. So I started off with the Down on the Corner there, which I do believe is the B side. But all of CCR's 45 releases, they were pretty much double A's. They all had great songs on both sides of them. But getting back to the story here, brought them home and started listening to them, and a lot of them, yes, we did recognize. I think we listened to the whole box at the time, and I got the ones that I noticed or knew, up at the front here, so that'll be starting off the episodes. And as we get closer to the back of the box, we'll probably go a little faster because I'm not going to have a lot to say about them because I don't know them real well. And this was a good example of, songs that you didn't know by the titles, but you knew once you listened to them. Scott McKenzie here doing San Francisco. You might not recognize that, but be sure to wear the flowers in your hair. The subtitle there gives that one away. So I did know this one, of course. B-side being a song called What's the Difference? Of course, I didn't need to hum any of the CCRs. I think everybody knows Fortunate Son and Down on the Corner pretty darn well. This one, I actually looked this up again because I get confused on this one a lot. The Searchers doing Love Potion number 9. They did not do this originally. This was the Clovers that did this originally, but a number of bands have done remakes of this, but this is the one you're going to recognize. This is the one that you'll know, that you still hear on the radio to today. Love Potion number 9, which was a really good movie too, but the movie was many years later. Sandra Bullock, that's one of the first films that the wife and I saw her in, and we just loved that movie, and we still watch it from time to time. B-side of this, High Heeled Sneakers. Now, I don't know if that's the same song that Traffic did. Traffic did a song called High Heeled Sneakers. It may well have been a cover version for Traffic. Might have been another cover version for the Searchers. I'm not sure who did High Heel Sneakers originally, but I would assume it's the same song because, that's not a title that you would expect to see duplicated. But there's one that we've got quite a few copies of and have covered a number of times. Climax doing Precious and Few. Precious is the word I use to describe. And the B-side being Park Preserve, which I believe is the B-side on every copy that I have seen of this. So I appreciated the guy putting this box together for us. There's not a whole bunch of really great ones in here that I knew, that I recognized, but there were a lot of them that I didn't know by the titles, and I did recognize once we were listening to them. Neil Sedaka, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, and you can see nice amount of stacker wear there. And poor old Nipper there got his head covered up with a sticker, number 48. But there's a shot of Nipper there on the back. And if you ever see the little puppy with him, his name was Chipper. Nipper was the RCA dog. He was a real dog, actually existed. But it was before RCA, so that logo wasn't made for RCA, it was adopted by them. But later on you'll see he's got a little puppy with him, and when you do, that's Chipper. B-side of this being As Long As I Live. Pretty sure that's what it says. It's pretty well, roughed up. Like I said, stacker wear there. And this one here, looks like somebody took a bite out of it, literally. But you can just barely get the needle right at the start of the grooves, so you can hear the whole song. But it's a pretty rough looking disc there. But Johnny Horton doing North to Alaska, which was a really great John Wayne film. And this was the theme song for it. It does even note it on here from the 20th Century Fox motion picture North to Alaska. If you're a John Wayne fan, you haven't seen North to Alaska, then you need to bump that up to the top of your viewing list, because that's a really great one where he's doing a little more comedy. I love John Wayne doing comedy. He didn't do as much as I would have liked, but he's definitely the cowboy of the ages there. Him and Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott definitely was born to play a cowboy as well. B-side of this one here is a song called The Mansion You Stole. So it's hard for me to tell stories and go over these discs and talk about them at the same time. So I was having a hard time getting the story out about this guy. But he was so happy that I was willing to give him $5 for this box of discs that he had put together. That spot checking it and looking at it, seeing some of the damage in some of the discs, I didn't want to say a word. I just gave him $5, thanked him kindly, and moved along. And I think I did see him a few more times out there and bought a few more 45s off of him over the course of the next year or so. Come With Me to the Sea by the Times. I'm pretty sure that's to Come With Me, My Love, to the Sea. And you might remember the Honey Drippers with Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin doing a cover of that. They did the Honey Drippers Volume 1. There never was a Volume 2. But that whole album was just a bunch of old covers. And I believe that's the same song. Like I said, it's been quite a few years since I got this box. And the wife and I did sit down and listen through all of them. And we knew the vast majority of them. But even now, going through this box with you, it's probably going to take us about 3 episodes, I would guess, to go through the box. There's still going to be a lot of them I'm going to recognize right out the gate. But you may very well know them and might enjoy seeing them. And if you look them up, you might spark your memory and remember the songs. B-side here being Wonderful, Wonderful. That makes me think of the old, what was his name? The real old guy, Lawrence Welk. He used to always be wonderful, wonderful. Everything was wonderful. My grandmother loved Lawrence Welk, and she always had to watch Lawrence Welk. I'd usually be in my room, but yeah. That's what I think of when I see the phrase wonderful, wonderful, is old Lawrence Welk and his bubble machine. Love the bubble machine. All right, here's one I do know. Downtown by Petula Clark. I think it's Petula Clark. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. I'd love to have more interaction with all of you out there. And if you enjoy the videos, thumbs up are always appreciated. Encourages me to keep on doing them, although I'll probably keep on doing them anyways. I had originally intended to move on from 45s. I wanted to, finish up the A to Z collection and then do something else to keep the channel with some variety on it. I think I was going to do some Nintendo dual screen games. Yeah, I was going to do that collection next. But then this box was buried behind those other 7 boxes of the A to Z sorted collection. And I figured I should go ahead and knock this box out. And then yesterday, went out to the flea market and scored a huge score. Got a couple of disco-round cases, but we'll talk about them later when we get to them. But I'm going to want to do those too. So that might just be up next. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the disco cases, not talking about the music disco. They were called disco cases long before there was disco. But the pink case from Cheyenne is a series of videos that I've done that will show you a disco case if you want to get a little preview of what's coming up soon. B-side here, You'd Better Love Me, which isn't a song by Petula that I know as well. But the Ventures, love the Ventures. They did predominantly, I think almost exclusively, but I don't want to say that for sure. So, but predominantly instrumentals. And we've got Slaughter on 10th Avenue here, which is not one that I recognize by the title. But it's a pretty cool label, even though it's worn pretty bad. I like the little fish in the water there. That's kind of neat. And the B side of this being a song called Rap City, which this would have been released long before rap was a thing, or rap was known to be associated with the music style. So I'm not sure exactly what they were referring to here with that. But yeah, Slaughter on Fifth Avenue, huh? The Ventures is definitely a great band. Now this one's really thick. And I'll talk about a heavy-duty vinyl. If I could show that to you on the side, you see, it's heavy platter. It's made to last, that's for sure. But it's kind of a drag by the Buckinghams. And that's a good song. Really like that song. Very patriotic-looking label there. Like that 45, number 45 in somebody's collection at some point. And these, since he pulled these together from multiple boxes that he had for sale, these are from numerous collections. I mean, this isn't one person's box and one person's collection. Like I get sometimes when I buy stuff in bulk out at the flea market or at some of the other shops around here. A lot of the times it's one person's collection. In this case, that's not the case. So when you see names written on them, signed on them, we're going to see a lot of different names here. B side of this is You Make Me Feel So Good, but look how we've got a double print here on this. I think that's interesting. If you can see that, make that out. It says You Make Me Feel So Good printed on there, and then so there's a slight error to that one there. And we've got a second copy here of the exact same thing. So this one would be a little bit cleaner looking, a little better. But the A side, you'll see immediately why I didn't show it first, is because somebody took a magic marker and tagged their stuff to keep their brothers, sisters, friends, relatives, whoever, from stealing their platter. Which happens, you know, especially with kids. So that's going to wrap up episode 1 of the 50s box. Come on back. Like I said, there'll be at least 3 episodes in this series. We'll get these knocked out, and then we'll move on to those new disco round cases I got. Have a great day. Talk to you again soon.